Do-do. Hello, hello, hello. I think this thing's on. Yes, the tweet has run. Okay. So, No Man's Sky. Or, as the title of this video has it, No Man's Willies. It's time to go and man up the universe. So today, I'm going to go to a planet, I'm going to land on the planet, scan all the animals on the planet, and I'm going to call them all Willy. That's it. Ooh, Atlas interface. But anyway. So this is Wibble. This is boring. 6 planets? Nah. Problem with more planets is you get more barren planets. Okay, let's try that one. The guy with 3 planets and 1 moon. Go, go, go. If you're wondering where this hilarious concept has come from, it's because willies are really funny. That's it. Can't really say much more than that. You're not getting me on video because, to be honest, having me on speaking is bad enough. So, hurriant for Ginster and its moon Hawaloga Umnity. What an achievement. Let's just zip down to the planet and see if there's anything alive. Obviously, if anything's not alive down here, I may scan a couple of rocks and call them Willy. It's all up in the air right now. So yeah, No Man's Sky is a rather splendid little game that people are very upset about, but I love immensely. As my currently ridiculous playtime will tell you. Oh, it's not looking like there's a lot alive down here. Let's have a look. Dehydrated, sparse, empty. So, yeah, I think we're just going to scan a couple of these. Not sticking around on here for too long. Scan a few rocks. Obviously the scanning part's the most exciting part. Before ignoring everything it says and uploading everything with a silly name. So okay, upload. Willy. You get the idea? This is what's going to happen. And there could just be hours of this. Hours of me wandering around on a planet, looking for something called Willy. Looking to call things Willy. And that's it. That's all you're going to get. Obviously, in the meantime, while I'm doing this, I'm gaining words and experience and, well, not experience, but, you know, mostly words and stuff towards milestones. I've got most of the milestones already, which is very interesting. But there we go. Now, I wonder if there's anything alive on this moon. Sit behind the planet and have a look. Time is spent in phase drive. I think No Man's Sky is probably more entertaining to watch than it might be to play for most people. I think most entertaining of all appears to be going onto Reddit and posting shit about it. But hey ho, you know, different strokes for different folks. This isn't the moon, that's a planet. I'm pointing at entirely the wrong thing. There we go. See, look, here we go. Moon of Willy. You can't tell me that's not hilarious. I mean, you can tell me it's not hilarious, but I'm not going to listen to you because it is hilarious. Objectively. Let's see what we've got. any pirates yet. Usually I get harassed by pirates a couple of times during jumps in systems. I'm really shit at steering this thing. Just points to the planet and go. Come on, let's go. Okay, we're on the way. Doesn't tend to be a lot on the moons usually. Most of the moons I've been to have just been full of furious sentinels. This looks like an ice world. Interesting. Okay, there might be stuff alive down here. Usually if there's a load of water, there's stuff alive. Let's see what we've got. Let's find something to land next to. Hopeful. What's that? Need to load and pop in. And nothing. Come on, there's got something to land by. This thing when I arrive on planets, I don't just like to just plop down, I like to find a building or something to land next to. Whether or not that's reasonable, I'll leave up to you to decide. It might not be reasonable in this go, alright, okay, sod it, we'll just plop down as if there's anything alive. Wasting valuable time I could be using to scan things and name them Willy. Snow, average, bountiful, ooh, fauna, okay. So let's pop out the old scanner and let's get started. What have we got over here? Let's see how much we've got. Crikey. Okay, well that's a lot of things to track down and name Willy, but I'm sure we're up to the challenge. Usually a good shout is in water. There's usually about 2 or 3 different species underwater if there's water on a planet. There's also usually a couple of flying species, maybe 3. And after that, I mean the land stuff is usually, oh there we go, look. Straight away with these giant throbbing headed things. A lot of things in the water tend to have giant throbbing heads in this game. So obviously, you know, if something's got a giant throbbing head, it's going to get named Willy. Can't complain about that one, those are just the rules. And that's also called Willy. Basically there's going to be a lot of Willies as time progresses through. The group of things over there. Scan a tree or 2. I mean, you don't have to do this for 100% in the place. You just get a few credits or units, sorry, for doing it. But if you're going to wander around for hours on end looking for the last damn animal to scan, you might as well do all the plants and rocks and trees too. And I'll be naming those Willy shortly. Okay, what have we got over here? This is the best bit. When you first land, this is the best bit. Everything's red, everything's easy. Everything you scan is new. Ah, that's huge. What's that? Ah, we'll have them. Come on. Flying Willies. Marvellous. Now, those migratory type species are often a pain because they only appear in certain cases, in certain places flying overhead. There's the other type that sort of flocks and just flies around in a circle. Those tend to fly from point to point. And it's somewhat difficult to keep track of them, find them for the first scan. There we go, that's 5 species out of 14. So we'll just do a bit of admin and housekeeping here. Get everything called Willy. Looks like my online connection isn't working at the moment, but that's fine. Hey, look at the neck on that. That looks like a bit like a flying Willy. Can't complain. 6-legged Willy. A Willy with a strange Y-shaped head. And a sort of reindeer-y, deer-like Willy. Marvellous. Okay, that's a good start. Off to a flyer. There's something else over here to scan. Wandering around. Looks like it's just the other Possibly the other gender of something? No, that's a new one as well. So that'll be getting named Willy in a moment or two. The real challenge isn't now. The real challenge for you is going to be watching while I call everything Willy. And tracking down the last probably one or two Willies on the planet is going to take ages, because it always does. If you're beginning to think I sound a little bit deranged, continually going on about Willies, or I'm just a very sad man, you're correct. I am a very sad man. But you know, don't think I've seen a No Man's Sky stream yet about calling everything Willy. So I hope you'll enjoy the entire 0 people who will ever watch this. Okay. Let's have a wander over here. Still plenty of signals around to go and investigate, which is always good. Lots of opportunities for things to scan and call Willy. Chrysanite there. It's very handy for his beam weapons, Chrysanite, mostly. Let's have a look on the old scanner. Have we got any more bright red Willies, or have they all gone green? There. Opportunity to scan a couple more bits and pieces. The concept for this stream came about when I thought it would be quite funny if I called everything Willy. So here you are. You can't really fault it. Is perfection itself. Okay, awesome. Now you've got most of the sort of lowland species, you tend to end up scanning the other gender of them. Like that one. Or you tend to be on the lookout for just random solitary predator type species, which you've got all the sort of herding ones. And that's when it takes forever, because you find yourself wandering across the planet for miles. Crikey, that's a big one. Obviously, that's a big Willy. What else would it be on this planet where everything is going to end up called Willy? That's going to get its name changed to Willy. That's already called Willy. And so we progress. Let's do a little bit more admin. So if anybody wants to suggest any names, Willy. I may branch out later on and just start throwing in adjectives, but I think we should keep the purity for this first system. And make sure that absolutely everything that gets scanned is properly entered into the galactic database, or whatever it is we're contributing to, as Willy. And I hope one day somebody comes across my planet called Willy. Well, it's a moon. With all the animals on it, called Willy. And, you know, enjoys themselves. I think it's important to have a hobby, and playing a video game with procedural generation where you get to name stuff and taking the opportunities to call everything Willy is mine, for the duration of this stream anyway. Bloody tentacle plants. Those tentacle plants are annoying. They're all different species on different planets, but they all look pretty much the same, do the same. They drop a tiny bit off his shield and are really annoying. So, I mean, just while we're carrying out these initial scans, there's not a lot to see or do in way of plaques or other landing sites or other beacons. There wasn't an awful lot to see sort of on the initial landing. Certain planets seem to have more in the way of buildings and stuff than others. So most likely this will be one of the sparser ones. There's something over on the horizon there, I think, so we can wander over there and have a look in a moment. So it might just be some hideous popping though. No, it's just hideous popping, okay. Not a lot going on. There's something. Probably already discovered that by the look of it. No, that's a new one. Shows what I know. That's a predator. Right, this is... My main bugbear with No Man's Sky isn't lack of variety, it's the fact that the predators don't look adapted as predators. That looks like some sort of grazing deer. Okay. That looks like some sort of grazing creature. Now the Sentinel's going to come and scan it, because I've just shot it. And then you've got these massive creatures with huge teeth walking around that are supposedly herbivores that leg it at the first sign of you. That's my bugbear with the creatures, not particularly lack of variety, because there is variety. And I'm sure more variety will come eventually. Yeah, I'm being an apologist now. And Sean Murray lied, but, you know, he didn't really. But anyway. So, I mean, come on, I'm a man walking around No Man's Sky, streaming it to YouTube, scanning things and calling everything Willy. So, it's not like I'm going to be troubled with multiplayer, is it now? Okay, it's probably in a cave, unless it's below this next fall. It looks like we've got something else there. There it is. That looks like it could be new. It's a herbivore, marvellous. Yeah, let's... Where was that other ping? It's fairly nearby. Might be below this rise. The other thing is, because of the level of detail... yes, because of the level of detail, the bigger creatures you can scan from further away. Which I suppose sort of makes sense, but... seems a little bit silly. Oh, what's that? I'd like to be able to scan everything from the same distance, but the smaller stuff tends to be tricky if it's like a predator. You've just got sort of one. You have to run right over there. Anyway, what can you say? Just get on with it. Oops, cold on this planet. I've got a cold, Willy. I've got a cold, Willy. Emergency. I'd better fill up my protection. My pocket's full of titanium. It is quite handy that if you're on a planet and running out of protection, you can just batter a load of sentinels for titanium to charge up your shields. It's a handy hint. So look, that's a Willy already. And now that's a Willy. This is a Willy. That's most definitely a Willy. That's going to be a Willy in a moment when I get it uploaded. And one final Willy. So how many Willies have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Willies so far. I'd imagine there's probably going to be 1 or 2 more types of flyers around. That's those migratory ones from before. So you see temperate migratory, they tend to fly from one end of the sky to the other. Whereas there's another type, I think there's a couple of types, but it depends how high up you go as to where you'll encounter them, I think. They tend to be sort of mid-heights usually, the flocking ones, if they're around. Oh, Gex in this system, okay. I think probably learnt more Gek than anything else at the moment. Through their many plaques and stuff, so if we meet a little Gek at some point... Ah, here's an outpost or a shelter or something. So if you meet a little Gek, you'll be able to understand most of what he's saying, which is really handy because they do say some interesting things. when you're trying to figure out what to do. So I had one offering me a slug. Little bit of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference, because the correct answer is to put it in your ear. But also, if you understand Gek, he gives you a warning about putting it up your nose, saying that that's death. To say the first time I didn't have the translation for that, I put it in my ear anyway, assuming it was a Hitchhiker's Guide reference. But you know, what can you do? You can just assume that the creators are as nerdy and pathetic as you are. Okay, so let's wander over here. We've got some more pings up on the scanner. Pinging away there. Probably more grazers that we've already seen. There's probably not an awful lot more on the land. Probably one or two predators. And I'll have to find a lake in a minute and go swimming to try and find some of the more water types, because I bet there's more than that one. With 14 species on the planet. Oh, there's something. That's big. New species, can't complain. I reckon this is mostly going to be water stuff now. Not sure how the day-night cycle works, if that affects what comes out. Sorry mate, I've upset you. Not as much as you're going to be upset in a minute when you forevermore get entered into the annals of the Universal Record as a Willy. Is there anything in this water? No. Tends to be in sort of larger bodies like seas and the like. Okay. So let's have a wander over this way. There's something over here. I mean, given the way that the building is just work, it's going to be one of about 3 things, but at least you know what you're getting. There's something I haven't scanned over here. Magnificent. Okay. Let's have a look at you. I've already got one of those, that's fine. I do like to try and get both genders. They tend to be 2 genders. Unless they're flying or water based. Try to get both genders of them, but if I've spent ridiculous amounts of time on a planet scanning already, probably won't bother with the last one of the last species. I'll just clear off out of relief, move on to the next planet and the next adventure. So a lot of the variety really is coming from the procedurally generated foliage and creatures. The buildings are all much of a muchness, I have to say. When I remember which way I'm actually going, it's that way. Distracted by scanning stuff. Ah, there's a beacon there, okay. So that beacon's going to give me a sight some way off probably. How far to the ship? 4 minutes. I'll wander back to the ship and pick up the beacon, wherever that ends up pointing us. They usually point to somewhere with a landing pad and a trader that you can go and talk to, so let's have a look. You see a few other question marks from the top down view, but yeah, there we go. Advanced life form detected, outpost. Not that far away. It'll be about 30 seconds in the ship. So obviously I'm logically going to spend 3 minutes now running back towards the ship to pick it up to save time, instead of running that way. Let's see what else we've got. Ooh, knowledge stone. What we're going to learn, what word will be tradition. Tradition, like the tradition of scanning everything and calling it Willy. I don't think that's the kind of tradition that Gek have. I could be wrong though, I'm not an expert in Gek language. Okay. If I do have a little scene to myself, during this, it is because I've run out of things to say. I don't really have anything to say anyway. Again, I'm just sort of wandering around calling things Willy because I think it's quite funny. Your mileage may vary on how funny it is. You'll most likely have already stopped watching. But if you are still watching, I hope you're enjoying my willies. That's obviously a willy. I mean, you know, that would probably be called Willy even if I wasn't currently calling everything Willy. Oh, that looks like stuff in the water. It is indeed. What have we got here? Now, come on. These little snake things, worm things, or whatever they are, I've seen these before. And their defining feature is they have one eye at the end. I mean, a one-eyed snake, a one-eyed worm. Come on. I mean, that's got to be deliberate, hasn't it? That's just taking the piss. I mean, I've called things like turning the worm, one-eyed snake. Can't call them dick because the profanity filter prevents it, but I can call them Willy. Along with everything else on every other planet can be called Willy. So that's what's going to happen. Those are just the rules. I can't get around it. It's unfortunate, really. In some ways, that they've spent 5 years making this game, and now I'm calling everything Willy. I would like to say though, calling everything Willy is probably an order of magnitude funnier than calling everything Harambe. So, if you don't think calling things Willy is particularly funny, I'm not sure what you will think about things called Harambe. I've not actually seen any Harambe planets. The only discovered place I've seen was Trump 2016. Can't remember the player name, but he didn't sort of carry the theme through. Okay, hang on a minute. Birds I nearly flew into are definitely something I haven't scanned. Migratory hibernators. Okay. Not quite sure what hibernator is. Might just mean they only come out at a certain time of day. The game's not really set up to have seasons and the like on the planets. You get day and you get night, and that's your lot. Okay, where were we going? To this outpost. When I've finished flying into birds and forgetting where I'm going. Spaceship has a boost if you hold down shift. No idea what it is on the PlayStation version. Same as your run key. Took me about 65 hours before I worked that one out, so a lot of my planetary cruising was quite slow. And obviously it's much faster if you pop up out of the atmosphere, because you can go a lot faster without the atmospheric resistance. See if I can get it to land on the landing pad, which is always a trick. There we go, down we go, and landed. Magnificent. Let's go and see if there's anybody home. There is. Marvellous. And what has he got to say to us? Kiat says, friend, Gek Acer Reslav. You see, now when I was saying I knew a lot of Gek, obviously I don't know anything of what he said. I'm assuming Oxide is what he wants, but there are other variations where they say, I don't want this, I want this, and I'm not sure if I know all the Gek words for things he might not want. Fortunately, iron's pretty easy to come by. You can shoot pretty much any rock, so that's what we'll do. We only want 10 of it anyway. Well, he's got hundreds of it now. And I'd imagine I'm going to get a blueprint that I've already got, because they're all blueprints that I've already got, due to the aforementioned stupendous playtime. Running around the same planet looking for the last couple of living things on it to scan. Okay, let's see what we can sell. Make a bit of space. Chrysanite. Yeah, don't need that. That's all over the place, so I can mine it from this planet. Thamium, don't need platinum. Yeah, we can empty out a few things, make a few credits. Absolutely love floating around on the jetpack. Great fun. It's just a shame it hasn't got more charge. Okie dokie, so a little bit more housekeeping. Need to enter some more willies into the record. Whoa! Okay, you have to be careful that you capitalise your willy properly. So, can we just say that this sort of one-eyed snake type creature, if nothing else deserves to be called a willy, that definitely does. That rock is going to be Willy. That other rock from underwater is always going to be Willy. That plant is Willy. Willy. Are you getting the idea here? Getting the pattern that's emerging? Willy. And a flying Willy. So, for everybody's sanity, not least my own, there's only a couple of things left to find on this planet, which is all going remarkably smoothly, but this is where it tends to get a bit iffy. So you'll have something that's just charge up the old life support. You'll have something that's probably a single predator. Wrong life support. A predator in the water. They sort of are carrying 1s and 2s. Possibly another flying type in some other part of the world. It's a different height or in a different place. I think the first one to check is probably the water. I think different stuff comes out at night, so let's just try and find a sea or a lake or something like that as a drop pod. I don't need that, but I can land there and look at the water. There we go. That was a predator and I was going to get attacked. So these drop pods contain upgrades for your exosuit, more pockets, but I've already got full size exosuit pockets 48, so not much left to do but save, claim the waypoints and claim a bit of cash. Not much cash though. Let's see if there's anything around here. No, the water seems devoid of swimming willies. There's a lot of stuff around about though, so already got those. Obviously you can tell by the name. I could tell by sight because I was my brain sort of moulded itself into the shape of this game now. There's more of the migrators flying across. So, where shall we go from here? I think I might get back in the ship and find some more water. We need to fuel up. Thankfully plutonium is pretty much on every planet in greater or lesser proportions. I assume because they don't want to strand you. And similarly, you've got the asteroids. Pretty much give out thamium if you get stuck without pulse drive. Let's just have a look. See if there are any willies in this stretch of water. No, it doesn't look like there are. Might be worth going and finding out what's going on at night. Pools. See if we can find any willies or potential willies. Haven't been named yet. Looks like the sun's going down, so that's a good start. If we want night time. We could just turn around and zap out the other way, away from the sun as well, on the bus drive, but I think we'll just go with waiting. What sort of height differences are there in this planet? Sometimes you find there's stuff at higher altitudes than others. There's a monolith there. Go to the monolith and find out what's what there. Let's plonk ourselves down. Marvellous. Okay. So we get 3 words, most likely. From the knowledge stones, we seem to get 3. Tong, how, and volts. Okay, sometimes you get 3 that are quite related and almost form a sentence. Let's see what memories of Atari's Urku has for us. Urku? Urku? Ah, yes, see. Now then, choose your death, firstborn favour, obedient toilgek underling. The bolts to the brain or the laser beam to the torso. I'm to choose my desired execution. Obedient toilgek underling. Mime's cutting my belly open with the lightning beam, so it has to be the laser beam to the torso for obedience. An exosuit technology blueprint. More importantly, he'll leave me some more words and an atlas word. I probably know about 20 atlas words maybe. They're not quite as easy to come by. I think when I go to an atlas interface I just get your and beyond if I'm lucky. Okay. So let's have a look what's going on. Let's have a look, see if there's anything else I can land on. It all seems pretty standard height wise. You just need to find an expanse of water to see if there's anything more interesting in it. Not sure if it's that kind of planet though. Get a bit of altitude, see if we can see what's what. No, it's mostly just lakes. There's no real seas. Okay. So let's see if there's anything in one of these. This is what I mean about the first 80% being fairly easy and the last couple not quite so simple. Unless you're lucky. It is really a matter of luck. I've had ones where it's been maybe 20 minutes, including a load of the faffing about. Ones are probably more like this, where it's a little bit longer. I've also had ones where they hide in caves, but looking on the scanner and looking down, I don't think we've got anything in caves at the moment. There's a planet where there's just scuttling crab things that just seem to live in the caves and nowhere else, which is extremely annoying when you're sort of charging around looking for the next thing to scan. But hey ho. That's just the way it goes in No Man's Sky. It's No Man's Sky. Rock is already called Willy, so it is already labelled correctly. Move on. A lot of stuff on the scanner, but it all seems to be discovered. Hill, see if we can see anything from up here. It's a bit of a screenshot simulator almost at times. get to a high spot and look out across the world and see what you can see. Quite dusty at the moment and messy. It's like it's raining something, snowing, I suppose. It's raining snow. Hallelujah, it's raining snow. Okay, so there's not a great deal up here. If we try and look at some higher up areas, probably find something to scan. I'm also not giving up on the old water approach either. There could well still be two different species lurking in the water. I think when the sun finally goes down, it seems to be taking its time in tint, we might find something else in the water as well. It tends to be very much a place where you get stuff hiding that only comes out at night. Or it might be out all the time, and I might just be completely crazy. This is the problem. This is one of those games where you start seeing patterns where there potentially are none. Now you see, is that underground, or is that lower land, or is that in the water? Let's have a look. It might be underground for a guess. Yeah. I think we're going down into a cave. Yep. Cave crabs. And a fish type thing. Okay, I think this might be our last couple of creatures unless something else really odd goes wrong. These things are annoying because they're fast. Thankfully they're also quite noisy. So what are you? That's it. All done. 14 out of 14. It was that easy. But let's just see if we can find some more. Ah, yes. It's the other gender of the annoying crabs. Go away. I think crabs have had something against me ever since the trip to Cromer, where I caught a crab in a bucket. Well, in a net and then a bucket. And then mocked it and called it Crabzilla. It wasn't particularly impressive. That's the problem with the jetpack. It runs out and then your legs get broken. Oh, here we go again. What was that? No, nothing. Okay. So this planet was reasonably quick to find all the creatures on and name them Willy, which, let's not forget, is the most important part of this process.
Units received. Units received. Units received. Units received.
And a Willy with a giant claw on the end, which is not what you want in a Willy, but hey ho. What can you do? Some Willies are just more violent than others.
Technology recharge.
And if your Willy's got a claw on the end, you need to love it just the same as if it didn't. Otherwise, what kind of a person are you? You can't love a clawed Willy as equally as a non-clawed Willy. You're just mad. You're just wrong in the head. So that's it. Night time has fallen, but I've found all the stuff that needs finding. Find a bit of plutonium, fuel up, and then we'll go onwards to the next planet. I think there's not a lot. There's some chrysanite, which sells reasonably well and is useful for a lot of upgrades, but I'm reasonably upgraded at the moment. Kind of want to find a bigger ship, but I can kind of manage with the ship I've got. I think everything else is fully upgraded, slots wise. Aluminium. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. I mean, you can chase stuff. It's great fun, and I really like the procedural sound on the creatures, the various different roars and the like. That's pretty fun. It's when these giant guys don't like you and run off. That's when the fun begins. It's like, it's not going to talk to me. Okay. There we go, we got all our willies registered on the planet. Sorry, I keep saying planet. On the moon Willy, around the planet Willy. I wonder if you should go to the space station next. Maybe we should head over to the old space station and see what's going on. Sadly, I can't name the space station Willy, or you know what would be coming next. I would be naming the space station Willy, obviously. No pirates! No pirates yet. I can't be carrying anything of value. Usually it's when you've got stuff like emerald or gold on board. Nothing so far though. Looks like I'm going to get through fine. See if there's a Gek on board to talk to in the space station. If there's any interesting ships to buy. The thing is, you can't rename the ships, so I can't call my ship Willy either. It's quite disappointing. Safely aboard. The other thing I need is the Atlas Pass version 2 and 3. No idea where those are. Don't want to know either. Otherwise I'll just go and look it up. I'll find out. Oh no, nobody's home. How disappointing. Normally there's somebody there. The last couple I've been to haven't had anybody home. Maybe they're slacking off. Coming up with stupid ideas for YouTube streams. Potentially. Is there a sensible idea for a YouTube stream? I don't know. There we go. I can't be bothered buying any ships. So we've had a look at the old space station. Let's have a look at Ujana Chrono, or as it's soon to be named, the planet Willy. Do a little bit more flying about. I have no idea how close I am to finishing this, or finishing this path. Just pinging from Atlas interface to Atlas interface, wondering what's going to happen next. Yeah, this is by far the most boring part of the game. It's still not as bad as Elite Dangerous' Super Cruise when you're hoping for something interesting. Oh, here come the pirates. Lovely. Let's have a fight. And hopefully they won't shoot me down, because that would be quite embarrassing. The old photon cannon up. Ah, there's one, just the one. Just the one? Get out of it, you little bastard. That's it. That's the end of him. That is what you get, mate. What do I get? Not a lot. Some Crolium. Well, it's better than a kick in the pants. Although if you like a kick in the pants, it might not be better than a kick in the pants. Let's have a look. A bit of... looks like a couple of ponds, maybe? Hard to tell with the pop-in. We do have its buildings to land near. Yeah, it's not looking like there's a lot alive down here. Just at first glance. Ah, even better, observatory. There's a landing pad as well. Oh no, it's just shelters. Okay. Let's pop down here and see what we've got.
Temperature levels stabilizing.
Sweltering, limited, frequent. Oh, okay, there is stuff alive down here. Not much in the way of sentinels though, which is always handy. They get quite annoying when they're on the high security planets.
Temperature levels stabilizing.
But it is an easy way to slowly clock up your extreme survival stat, or milestone. This one here, persistent, that I've got at the moment, because high security sentinels count towards that. And otherwise it's a bit of a pain because you're continually feeding titanium to your shielding like I will be on this one. With its hot weather. See if there's anything interesting to go and look at while we scan things and call them Willy. 9210. So this will be probably be a ruin or a monolith or something interesting to go and look at. Over in yonder direction, how far? Quite a way. That's a ship job. Let's just hop out and have a look what's going on. Hit the waypoint. Excellent. Okay. So, there's something. It's got a triangular pointy head and it's submissive, which is why it's walking around with its arse up in the air, obviously,
Temperature levels stabilizing.
as all submissive creatures do, except for those that don't do that. Scan a few rocks and a bit of foliage. Lovely, lovely units to my bank account. Okay, let's go and have a look at what all this activity is over here. How many species have we got? 7. Okay, this shouldn't be too tricky. Shouldn't take too long, unless it does. which is obviously, you know, not much comfort at all for anybody for anything. There's one. That's a cute little lizard thing.
Units received.
A baby thing of some description. Obviously that's going to end up called Willy in a minute because that's how this is working. But, you know, there are worse things in life than to be called Willy. I'm not sure what the worst things are. I mean, I'm Willy, sort of technically as well, vaguely through my surname, but
Units received.
thankfully my first name isn't quite as shortenable to Willy as my surname. Maybe that's why I find Willy hilarious. Maybe it's all some deep psychological trauma. Or maybe it's just that Willies are inherently hilarious. I mean, come on. Stupid little gristly flop of skin flapping about. What's not to find hilarious about that? Obviously, you know, I'm sure some people would say, but Willy is inherently a part of all sexual violence committed by men towards women, and indeed other men. But to that I'd just reply, well, look at it though. It is funny though, isn't it? Flopping around there like that. That is quite funny. And you'd have to concede that yes, it is. Otherwise you'd just be being disingenuous, I think. There's no other possible answer to that. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, I'm talking about Willies. So, it looks like we're getting towards dawn, possibly. It's hard to tell sometimes on some of these planets. I think there were little pools of water, weren't there, on the way down? So, oh, I love these plants on like a giant sort of. I mean, yeah, I'm going to say testicle. It's not, but I'm going to say it. That's what you're probably thinking. Certainly what I was thinking. Okay, let's have a look. Titanium there. That will help with the old heat protection. Oops, that's the wrong button.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
That's one of these planets, is it? Where it's heat during the day and cold at night. Not sure how the old temperature readout works, or what my character's actual biology is. It doesn't seem very human in terms of what counts as tolerable for the exosuit. You get places where 30 is too hot, and like minus 19 is fine. So it may just be like a bell curve across 0 as to what the tolerable temperatures are. There's something to scan. I bet it's bloody crab things. Huh. It's got like a jumbo jet tail or something. Weird little things. They seem quite small for the most part, the stuff on this. Oh, that one's bigger. Must be getting babies. More species left. More species to go. And name Willy. Because that's what's going to happen. They're going to get scanned, and they're going to get renamed, and they're going to get uploaded. And when that happens, they're going to be called Willy. That's just what's going to happen. Okay. There's nothing in the local vicinity. So, do we... the beacon up there on the hill. There's something over yonder ways. What I might do is go and retrieve the ship and look for some bodies of water. Or lakes or something. I might go up that hill as well, see if there's anything up there on the higher ground. Because there often is. Is there anything down there in the caves? That's what they're scanned, surely. And that. Lovely money in the bank account. Looks like I've already got whatever it is up here. You know, it's always worth a look. Let's see if there's anything else up here. All those plants it's got. Can we see a lake in the distance? No. That's fine. Oh, hello. Water. Just... no, that's just sort of cave lowland. That might be what it is rather than water. It just looked like water from the air, but the way things render in after the event would not have been. I look at these machine pods, but I've got, I think, most of the ship upgrades already. I've just not added one to the ship due to lack of slots. I think I will say that I quite like the music on this. I rarely find myself turning it off at the moment. And I'm putting my own stuff on. Probably will do eventually. A few more 100 hours into the game, who knows, but it works quite well. And the sort of procedural aspect of it works well, where it sort of changes. Probably mostly quite used to it these days, the music changing, but in a sort of wide open procedural world where you can be doing one of many things, I suppose. You need quite a lot of music to account for all those, and you need a way to sort of smoothly switch from one track, as it were, to the other. So, quite a fan of the music in this. Not got the soundtrack, but I will pick it up at some point. It's that. I've got you. I've got you on my list of potential willies. In fact, we should probably get some willies into the book.
Units received.
I'm not sure what's going on with my connection.
Units received.
It was up before.
Units
It's
received.
possible that I've just been banned forever for calling everything Willy,
Received.
which would be fair enough.
Received.
A sensible one would be seeing if this was copy and pastable, but it's not.
Units received. Units received. Units received.
One of my feature requests is going to be.
Units received.
Now look at that! Come on, that's pretty phallic. You can't complain that I'm calling that Willy, because look at it. A nice hexagonal column. Obviously, that is going to be a Willy, because willies are basically just hexagonal columns. When you get down to it.
Units received. Units received.
Be careful. Nearly had a misnamed Willy there.
Received. Units received.
Now, you can see from earlier on, obviously in my game, I've been calling stuff all sorts, but I think we need to have a system that's pure. One pure system of Willy,
Units
or
received.
willies.
Units received. Units received.
I've still only got 3 species scanned. That's quite poor.
Units received.
Quite poor going.
Units received.
But this is the problem with these sort of sparsely populated, or normally I suppose populated systems. There isn't an awful lot in a given place, so this could take a little while. Just bear with me. We shall have everything tagged and labelled as Willy in no time. While I drone on and on about willies and how funny they are. Let's go over towards the ruin. If there's anything over here. I'm not sure there are bodies of water on this planet. Not quite aware from up above, but I think that may have just been lower lying areas popping in. That's fine. We will discover what there is to discover. No problems. Okay, let's pop down here and have a look around. Look around some elevated land. It's good to keep moving around anyway. Just to make sure that you're covering all bases. Stuff tends to be confined to certain areas. There's nothing new here though. There's another herd over here. I'm imagining there's going to be at least one sort of solitary predatory type species hanging around. There's something. Let's go and have a look. A bit of squawking as well. Let's go and have a look what's over here. Okay. I bet it's bloody crabs. Bloody crabs. Oh no. Okay, what type are you? Vectorized passive grazing, that's what we like to see. Mostly because I don't have to shoot it to death after it comes charging at me. You may wish to say it's coming at me because it doesn't want to be named Willy. But now they do it anyway, regardless of what you call them, I've checked. But it has a point, I suppose. I mean, who'd want to be named after an item of male genitalia? That is, after all, what we're talking about here. The old John Thomas. Percy. The spam javelin. Okay, there's not much more over here, it seems. That's the green stuff. Gold. Always worth picking up where you see it. Universally seen as a reasonable bet for value or units. Okay. I think back to the ship. What have we got here? Computer site. Have we got anything flying? Now that day's come. Not so far. I'm chasing a Willy. And I'm chasing a Willy and it's making screaming noises. Pretty much like real life. Oh, what's going on? Must be the shifting music to daytime. Okay, ooh, there's a lodge stone over there. What word can we learn? What word can we learn today? Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Willy. Let's charge over here. Quite the squeaky noises that they make. I wonder if the sun coming out will bring any flying stuff out. These little green things are noisy. Yes, it has brought some flying stuff out. Excellent. That's one more off the list. One more on the list of willies. What are we down to now? 2? 2. Okay. That's a 6-legged willy and a rocky willy and a flying willy. Magnificent. Okay, that's what we like to see. Okay, other little green things running around, squawking away. Yeah, this is what I mean about the whole day-night thing. Some things do just come out in the daytime. So, I think if we head further down, check out to see if anything's appeared lower down in the lowlands. Some shelter there. Abandoned building, it looks like. So keep your eyes peeled and we'll see if there's anything else worth a scan. Not round here. Okay. Oh, no, I tell a lie, there is something. Might just be the other gender of that 6-legged willy that we saw before. No, it looks like it could be something new. That looks new to me. New species, 6 out of 7. We're flying again. Bit of a lean period when the sun went down, but now we're back up and running. Famous last words, I would imagine in about another half an hour we'll still be looking for the last one. That's how these things tend to work. There we go, there's the waypoint. Everything's nicely saved. Yeah, abandoned building. So these get a bit Lovecraftian inside. Fun, but Lovecraftian. I can never find the door, there it is. I also tend to have a tentacle monster hiding inside, there it is. So we'll get rid of him first. There we go. Marvellous. So yeah, you get all those sort of sweaty old tentacles and goodness knows what else. Let's have a look. Yeah, you get this sort of elder horror thing going on. My comms hub. Too much thinking about willies. Detected a garbled message sent with strange resonance qualities. Wow. Okay. So, he's got a message from the past, but from the future, but from the past, and it's his name. And that caused him to freak the fuck out and turn into a load of tentacle beasts and generally make a mess of things. As you do. I know I do. By freak out and turn into a tentacle beast, I mean furiously masturbate. How very rude. Okay. So what else can we scan? There must be something else knocking around to scan. I'm guessing it's not another flying beast. Could guess wrong though. But there's not an awful lot on this planet, life-wise. Only 7 species, the last one was 14. Let's relocate and have another look around somewhere else. While we're here, pick up the ruin that we found the signal for. What the hell is that? That's it, that's the last species, and oh boy, what is that? Come on. Really? That's the first time I've seen something like that. I've seen some odd things, some odd creatures, but that's the first one of those I've seen. Goodness gracious me, look at it. Come back here. I haven't got any iridium to feed it. I mean, really? Where's it gone? The state of it. Just the absolute state of it. I mean, you'd say it's cute, but it just looks stupid. And it's bright green. I do love the little noise it's making while it runs away though. No, leave me alone. You're gonna need to run faster than that, buddy. Awesome. Just awesome. This is what I love about No Man's Sky. I've never seen anything like that before in No Man's Sky. It might be several planets before I see anything like that again. Absolutely fantastic. What's this over here? That's the other gender of that stripy backed thing. I mean, just... What a game. That's just ridiculous. Where's he gone now? No, I've lost him. Oh well. I'm speechless now. Let's go and get this ruin done and go and look at the other planet. I can't believe we found that little green dude. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Unfortunately, he does have to be called Willy. I think Willy, to be honest, Willy might be a good name for him. My little green friend Willy. It's not the first time I've heard that before. This is why this game is a delight. There's always a surprise. You'll be pumping along, everything's business as usual, and all of a sudden you'll be going, what? What even is that? Come on. Okay, this is about the Gek in their history. The Gek in the game at the moment are a lot more mellow than the history suggests. So there's some sort of ongoing theme. I think it's beginning to loop around again now, of all the knowledge of the Gek. I'm pretty sure I've heard most of it and it's looping around in the packs, but talking about how they're the the sort of hardcore. They've got this sort of hardcore Nazi stormtrooper master race thing going on about their first spawn and how great they all were. But tempered by something's happened since then, and they're not quite as crazy. So either something's happened, and it looks like it's happened with the Korvax. Oh, it's pinging that one over there. Knowledge stone. Or something's happened with the Vy'keen, or they've sort of exploded on their own, but something weird's happened with them. And there's all sorts of sort of interconnected lore on these plaques, and as you read more and more of them, you get more of a sense of how the universe's history has been up until this point. Which is probably one of my favourite ways of finding stuff out, really. I mean, it's a little bit cliche, I suppose. It's just like audio logs and the like, but it's sort of background exposition that you stumble across, rather than stuff definitely about, you know, a character in the game. Look at it. Oh yeah, just look at it. That's just ridiculous. Never seen anything like that. Outstanding. Of course, the problem is it's going to be difficult for me to track that down now, because I called everything Willy in the system. But it's here on, you know, here recorded. So I have a record of my little green Willy and his antlers running around. Bizarre. Utterly bizarre. Okay, charge up the old protection. It's a bit warm on this planet. That's it. That was it, wasn't it? Everything. Willy, complete. Give me my units. Did I do that on this other one? I didn't, did I? I didn't claim my prize for uploading all the willies. It's the one thing you've got to remember to do, claim your prize for uploading all the willies. Otherwise, what's the point in uploading them? Cool. So that's another planet down, another planet full of willies. Let's see what the next one brings. It was 3 planets.